Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. So in this video we are going to be doing a TV spoiler review, which is going to be on Succession, which I have absolutely loved. I have loved the second season of Succession. I found it very, very captivating and just an awesome season to the continuation of the first season, which was awesome and really, really good in its own right. And in this video we will be doing a spoiler review of the second season. So this is your 5-second warning. If you haven't seen Succession Season 2, then I would probably go and watch that before you continue watching this video, as we are going to be talking about a lot of the big moments that happen in the second season, especially what happens with the big twist in the finale. So if you haven't seen Succession Season 2, I would advise maybe stepping away from this video and coming back to it at a later date. But if you have seen it, then definitely stick around, as we are going to be talking about the awesome second season of Succession. Now, Succession as a TV show overall, I just think is absolutely brilliant. It's not very overly done and overly kind of glossy like Dynasty is. It kind of, I don't know if you'd agree with me, but I feel like at moments it does feel like a bit of a reality TV show, especially when, you know, a character says something that is very kind of interesting or unexpected. The camera kind of zooms into that person. So it's a little bit gritty in terms of how it's filmed. Obviously the production and the locations and the whole world of these characters is obviously that of a billionaire, but I just feel like how it's filmed is a bit unexpected and a bit unusual to the typical kind of American TV shows, and for that reason I just find it really, really cool. And it's definitely a drama TV show, but that said, it's got some hilarious comedic moments, literally laugh out loud, unexpected moments that are just very, very, very funny in the first season and in the second season. So I just feel like the style of the show is just very unique, very captivating. And yeah, just for all of those reasons, I just absolutely love Succession, and I cannot wait to talk about the second season in this review with you now. Now, the storyline of the second season definitely builds on the events in the first season, but in the way it's told is slightly different because it's very centered around the Royco business, and because of that it kind of unites the core 3 children, namely Shiv, Kendall and Roman, into the Royco business, and then all of the other storylines are kind of stemming away from this. Now, because of this, there are naturally going to be a lot of tension and disagreements within the family unit, and each one kind of trying to prove themselves, but it's just not as dark or as backstabby as, you know, the first ever promotional video for the first ever season of Succession kind of set out that it's going to be like. So there are definitely differences between the first season and the second season. The kids are a lot more united, they're a lot more kind of wanting the Royco business to be successful. So yeah, in terms of the overall story narrative, this is definitely the root of it, and you know, the central storyline is, again, as the name suggests, and as the first season kind of was centered around as well, which is who will Logan Roy choose to be his next successor. Now, you would think, how have they managed to have this storyline spread out across 2 seasons? But there's definitely loads of events that kind of happen that kind of put that into play and makes him question who is he going to give this massive role of CEO of the Royco company to. So it's a very dramatic, very interesting, very captivating season. And like I said, from this core root, that's where all of the other storylines stem from, such as, you know, Kendall really sucking up and proving himself to Logan, Roman kind of going to management training and kind of exploring how he can kind of prove himself to be the CEO, Shiv kind of being promised the CEO position and really quickly making up for lost time and becoming embroiled in the business. Her open relationship with Tom is explored more. Greg is still a little bit on the side and kind of having his own storylines as well. And Logan becoming greedy and wanting to expand his empire with the new acquisition. So in terms of the storyline, it's definitely got its core root, and then all of the other additional storylines are kind of stemming from this. Now, the characters in Succession really does make Succession what it is. They've just got a phenomenal group of characters, great group of actors, and it's just such a brilliant show because the characters really do make it what it is. Logan Roy is just such a captivating character in and of himself. Is he a bit like Rupert Murdoch? That's for the audience to decide, but just a very, very interesting media mogul head, and just a really interesting character from the point of view of those that are actually in a career, to kind of see, is this what it's like to be at the top? Is this what it's like to be a business leader? So yeah, just from a business point of view, this show is really, really interesting as well. But yeah, in terms of Logan's storylines in this season, he has just very, very interesting ones. They continue some of the storylines from the first season, such as the hostile takeover, and then, you know, him proving himself to the new shareholders. him becoming greedy and wanting to expand his business empire, all of the cruise ship allegations, and of course, who is he going to appoint as his next successor. So I feel like Logan Roy definitely has a different character makeup this season, as in the first season, it was all about, is Logan Roy healthy enough and capable enough to be able to run Royco Company, whereas in the second season, they don't really delve into his health or anything like that. I guess they did that to death in the first season, whereas in the second season it's a lot more about, you know, who is he going to hand the keys to his empire to, and his kind of controlling relationship of Kendall after all of the events that happened in the first season. Now, speaking of Kendall, Kendall is a fantastic character, very, very captivating in his own right as well, and the actor just does such a brilliant job in terms of bringing him to life. Obviously, he had a very dark experience at the end of the first season, and that obviously continued in this season, which is really, really good. They haven't kind of forgotten about it. They've definitely kind of had that thread falling through the rest of this season as well. And just his character arc is very, very interesting. He was definitely a main character, kind of the main character in the first season, as it was all about his kind of journey and his kind of mission to kind of steal the company from his dad and to kind of have it in his own right. Whereas in this season, he's in a very, very different place. He kind of understands that his dad really helped him get out of a very dark period after everything that happened at the end of the first season. And while the second season was going on, a lot of people felt like, okay, Kendall's not as big of a main character as he was in the first season and the second season, because it's a lot more shared and spread out with all of the other different characters, and that is true. But the way that the second season started and ended in a very similar way, which was Kendall in front of a camera, which is similar to this, and kind of doing exactly what his dad wants him to do. But the second time that he does this in the finale, he completely proves to his dad that he is a killer and literally does stab him in the back and kind of exposes him as knowing all of the cruise line information. So a brilliant way, a very shocking, very unexpected, a very brilliant twist at the end of the second season with Kendall's character. So yeah, I just feel like Kendall totally owned this season and just ended it in such a dramatic way that you really just cannot wait to see what happens next season. Roman is a really interesting character this season as well. In the first season, he was definitely the comedy value of the family, of the whole show. Whereas in this season, he has a lot of character growth. He definitely proves himself from a business point of view, as he reluctantly goes in the management training program, has a greater connection with Jerry, and by the end of the show, he's actually making some really solid business decisions, and Logan even wants him to be the next CEO. So I feel like his journey is really, really interesting in that he definitely grows and expands and kind of proves his worth. He definitely does still have his swearing humor, but I feel like, you know, from a character's point of view, from the first season to the second season, you can definitely see the growth that Roman has. He definitely still does provide comedy for sure, but he's just not the ridiculing character as he was in the first season. In terms of ridiculing character, I just feel like poor Tom definitely unintentionally takes on that role this season. He has some painfully awkward moments in this show, and you can see that he's trying to hide it behind a laugh, but it's just, yeah, just very, very painful to watch. You can kind of, as an audience, feel his pain because you can just kind of see the situations that he's put in, reluctantly of course, but it's just, from an audience point of view, it's painful, but it's also really, really captivating as well, because, you know, that awkward moment where he had to do that bore on the floor scene where he was trying to have a proper marriage with Shiv while she still wanted to have an open marriage, which he said on their wedding night at the end of the first season. And yeah, just when he was just really ridiculed and kind of made to be the scapegoat of the family with all of the cruise ship stuff in the courtroom scene. So I just find Tom definitely elevated himself as a main character this second season, and yeah, just had some crazy moments, but really, really did kind of hold the audience's attention for sometimes good reasons and sometimes bad reasons. Speaking of Shiv, she's the next character that I wanted to talk about. I feel like she's interesting as well in that the first season she was definitely a rebellious character and was kind of rebelling against the family, rebelling against her brothers, and was just really owning that space. Whereas in the second season, early on in the second season, she's verbally told by Logan Roy that she's the favourite and she is most likely going to be the successor of Royco. Maybe because Logan Roy can kind of see that killer instinct in Shiv. So throughout the whole season, she's just really proving herself, catching up, making up for lost time, and just goes on a really interesting character arc in that, you know, she's headstrong, that she's going to be the favourite, the next heir to the throne, and, you know, the impact that that has on her friendship and brotherly relationship with Kendall and with Roman. She obviously openly blurts it out in the dinner with the acquisition with the other family. So I just feel like her character was really interesting this season. She obviously proved herself towards the end of the show when she was able to kind of fix the cruise ship allegation situation. So yeah, she definitely goes on an interesting journey this season. Greg's character is still the bumbling sidekick of the show. He definitely continues that kind of character trait from the first season to the second season. He does do it really, really well though. He is a very endearing character because of that. And it's really interesting actually. If you watch the actor's interview, you'll see that he is very similar to Greg in real life, which I think is quite interesting. That said though, the character of Greg definitely does grow in confidence this season, especially because he's able to kind of stand up to Tom and kind of, you know, have his own kind of authority within that space as well. What I do find quite interesting about Greg's character, based upon what we know that he does in the finale moment, which is kind of helping Kendall prove his innocence and prove that it was Logan Roy that was behind the whole cruise ship allegation stuff, it kind of does make you question whether or not Greg and Kendall were kind of in on the whole, you know, what Tom made Greg do in terms of destroying the evidence kind of situation. Because, you know, Kendall brought Greg the flat, they kind of have the relationship with all of the drug stuff. So it's just really interesting in that, did Kendall and Greg kind of form this union before all of this kind of stuff happened? So yeah, just one interesting thing when you kind of look backwards. Marsha's character this season I feel like was a complete non-existent character. She had a bigger role in the first season, whereas in this season, you know, she was kind of non-existent. A real shame because I feel like, you know, as an actress, she is always the first one that's mentioned whenever the cast list is shown. So she's definitely clearly capable, and just a bit of a missed and wasted opportunity that they didn't do more with her character. Hopefully they do a lot more with her in the third season. But yeah, as far as the other characters and actors go, you know, they're great supporting characters in this show, and as far as the overall group of characters and actors go, Succession Season 2 just has an absolute wicked group of characters and actors. Overall, I'm sure you can tell I really, really enjoyed the second season of Succession. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend seeing it, as it is just an absolutely brilliant TV show, great group of characters, very captivating storyline, and yeah, just told in a very unique style as well. I cannot wait to see what they do in the third season. What will the repercussions be on Logan's character? Will he go to jail? Probably not, because he kind of does control a bit of the government. What will happen with Kendall's character? Is he going to be continuing as CEO of Royco? And what will this mean for his relationship with Roman and Shiv and kind of all of the other different characters? What will Roman and Shiv do now? What will Greg be doing? What will Tom be doing? Just so many unanswered questions, and just very edge of your seat viewing throughout this season, and I just cannot wait to see what they do next season. As far as the overall second season goes, because I loved it so much and because I found it very, very captivating, couldn't wait to watch the next episode each week, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you think, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.